Talk, the show where we empower future educators to face their challenges and grow professionally. I'm Leah, your host, and today we are diving into a topic that's essential for every teacher: overcoming the fear of public speaking and building confidence with purpose. Joining me today are three distinguished education students who will share their experiences and perspectives. Please join me in welcoming Christine, Regeline, and Arlene.
Hi, Miss
Hello,
Leia.
Christine.
Hi, Miss Leia.
Thank you for my welcome to my show. May I say Christine? Okay, Christine, why don't you start us off with telling us a bit about yourself and your relationship with public speaking?
Hi, everyone. I'm Christine, a BSN English major. Honestly, public speaking used to terrify me. I remember in high school, just the thought of standing in front of the class made my heart race and my hands sweat. I rehearsed so much, but still freeze when it was my turn. Over time, I realized that the fear wasn't going away by itself. So I started looking for strategies to manage it. It's been a journey of ups and downs, but I'm proud to say I'm much more confident.
Thank you, Christine. Thank you for sharing that. That kind of honest reflection is so important. Okay, please, Regeline.
Hi everyone, I'm Regeline. I totally relate to Miss Christine. For me, public speaking was something I avoided at all costs. I used to think that if I just stay quiet, I'd be safe from embarrassment. But as I progressed in my education studies, I began to see that avoiding it wasn't an option. If I wanted to be an effective teacher, I had to face my fears head on. It was challenging, but I learned that public speaking it's not about talking. It's about connecting, leading, and inspiring. That realization helped me shift my mindset.
Wow, that's a powerful shift in that. Yeah, and Arlene.
Uh, Hello, I'm Arlene. I've always loved English, but public speaking was my biggest hurdle. I would get so nervous that I'd lose my train or speak too fast. What really helped me was understanding that confidence doesn't come overnight. It's built through consistent practice and reflection. I started recording myself, watching how I spoke, and identifying areas to improve. It's been a gradual process. But now I feel more prepared and even excited to speak in front of others.
Wow, thank you. I love how each of you has taken a thoughtful approach to this challenge. It really sets the tone for a meaningful discussion today. So, why is public speaking so crucial for us as future teachers? Beyond just getting words out, it's about critical thinking and information literacy, skills that help us communicate and communicate clearly and responsibly. Let's talk about that connection. How do critical thinking and information literacy influence your approach to public speaking?
So definitely for me, critical thinking is the foundation of any good speech or presentation. It's about analyzing the topic, organizing my thoughts logically, and anticipating questions or counterpoints. Without that, my speech would just be a jumble of ideas, which makes me even more nervous. Information literacy comes in when I research my topic. I make sure to find credible sources and verify facts. Knowing my material is accurate gives me confidence because I'm not just repeating information. I understand it clearly.
That's a great point. Confidence really does stem from mastery of content, no? So, Regeline, how about you? What's your perspective?
I agree with Kristen, Ms. Leia. Critical thinking helps me break down complex ideas into clear, digestible points. It also helps me evaluate my own biases and assumptions, which is important when presenting information to students. Information literacy is crucial because as teachers, we're responsible for guiding students to trustworthy
Yes.
information. When I prepare for a speech, I spend time cross-checking facts and looking for multiple perspectives. This process makes me feel more credible and ready to engage with questions.
You know what? That's so important. Modeling good information habits for our students. Arlene, how do you see these skills fitting into your speaking?
For me, critical thinking is like the roadmap for my speech. It helps me decide to include and what to leave out, so my message is clear and focused. Information literacy means I'm not just taking things at face value. I dig deeper to understand the context and reliability of my sources. This preparation reduces my anxiety because I know I'm well informed and ready to handle any question or discussions that come up.
It's clear that both critical thinking and information literacy don't just improve what we say, they boost how confidently we say it, right?
Yes.
So now let's get into some personal stories. Would you like to share some specific moment when you felt afraid to speak publicly? Christine, would you like to start?
Sure, I remember one thing in senior high when I had to present a research paper on a complex topic. I had to prepare for days. But when I stood in front of the class, my mind went blank. I forgot the key points and stumbled over my words. I was shaking so much I could barely hold my notes. Afterward, I felt embarrassed and I and doubted if I could ever be a good speaker or teacher. It was a tough experience, but looking back, it taught me the importance of preparation and managing nerves.
Thank you for sharing that vulnerable moment, Christine. It's so relatable. When you felt your mind blanking, did you notice any particular thoughts or feelings that made it worse?
Yes, I remember the quotes of everyone is judging me like I'm failing. Those thoughts made me even more anxious. It took me a while to realize those were just fears, not facts.
That's a critical insight. Recognizing fear-driven thoughts
Yes.
helps us challenge and overcome them. Regeline, how about you?
One experience that stands out was during a classroom debate. I had researched my points thoroughly, but when I stood up, I froze. My mind went completely blank, and I couldn't remember what I wanted to say. I felt frustrated and helpless. But afterward, I realized that fear can silence or even the most prepared person. It made me think about how important it is to develop strategies to stay calm and focused in the moment.
That's a powerful lesson. What strategies have you found helpful when you feel that freeze coming on?
Um, I try to take deep breaths and focus on one point at a time. Instead of thinking about the whole speech, sometimes I remind myself that it's okay to pause and gather my thoughts over time. This has helped me regain control.
Those are great practical tips. How about you, Arlene? Your story, can you share?
In college, I had to give a report in front of a large class. My heart was pounding so fast I could barely concentrate. I managed to finish, but I felt I didn't do my best. The moment was frustrating, but also motivating. I realized I needed to practice more and find ways to manage my anxiety. I started recording myself and watching the videos to see where I could improve. It's been a gradual process, but I'm much more confident now.
Using recordings for self-reflection is such a smart approach. Did you notice any particular changes or improvements after doing that?
Yes, I noticed I tended to speak too fast when nervous, so I work on slowing down. I also became more aware of my body language and eye contact. Watching myself helped me become more intentional about these things.
That kind of self-awareness is key to growth. Thank you all for this honest and detailed reflections. Building on your experiences, what specific strategies or habits have helped you build confidence over time? Christine.
Accepting that mistakes are part of the learning process was huge for me. I used to think I had to be perfect,
but now I realize that even experienced speakers stumble. I also practice in front of the mirror and time myself to stimulate field conditions. Preparing truly gives me a sense of control that calms my nerves. That's all. That's a healthy mindset. Embracing imperfection while preparing well. How about you, Miss Reageline?
For me, joining small group discussion was a game changer. Speaking in front of friends felt less intimidating, and it gave me a safe space to practice. Volunteering in class also helped me get used to speaking spontaneously. These small steps build my confidence gradually.
I love how you're building confidence step by step. How about you, Arlene?
I watch TED Talks and teachers blog to learn different speaking styles and technique.
Wow.
It's inspiring and helps to see that speaking is a skill anyone can develop. Recording myself and reviewing the videos also helps me track my progress and stay motivated.
Learning from others and self-evaluating, two powerful tools for growth. It's great to hear how you all combine practice with reflection.
Okay, now it's game time. Let's have some fun with truth or lie. Speaking nerves edition. I'll say a statement, and you tell us if it's true or false for you. Okay, and then explain just a bit. Okay, so now ready?
Ready.
Okay, so for the first statement, I once forgot my entire script in front of a crowd.
Truth, I froze during a report and had to improvise. It was scary, Miss Leia. But I learned that sometimes you just have to trust yourself in the moment.
That's a valuable lesson. Being adaptable under pressure. Ready?
Yeah. For me, it was truth also. I was so nervous. I didn't even look at my notes. It was embarrassing, but it taught me to prepare better and stay calm.
Thank you for your honesty. Arlene?
I think it's a lie. I usually memorize key points, but my voice shakes when I'm nervous.
Voice shaking is very common. Recognizing it is the first step to managing it. Okay, now next statement. I pretended to be sick just to skip a presentation.
Just a lie.
Wow.
I thought about it, but showed up anyway. I realized facing the fear is better than avoiding it.
That's a great choice. Ready?
For me, it was the truth. I skipped once when I was really unprepared. It made me realize that preparation is a key.
We've all had moments like that. Arlene?
I think it's a lie again. I try to face it even if I mess up. It's part of the movement.
Exactly. Now, last one. Next. Now, I actually enjoy speaking in front of the class.
Truth. When students engage and respond, it's really rewarding.
Yes, engagement is the best motivation.
Yes.
Ready?
For me, it was truth. It's still nerve-wracking, but the excitement outweighs the fear.
That's a great mindset.
For me, it's a truth. Helping others understand makes it meaningful and fun.
Yes, beautiful said.
That was fun, Miss Leia. It really reminds me from the past.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Yes, exactly.
So,
Okay, now, so let's end with this question. Okay, so I have a question for you. This is the final question, and answer it honestly, okay?
yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So now the question is, why is public speaking so vital for us as future teachers? How does it connect to critical thinking and information literacy?
Okay. Public speaking is our main tool to inspire, motivate, and guide students. If we don't speak confidently and clearly, our message won't reach them. Critical thinking help us organize our ideas logically, and information literacy. Ensure what we share is accurate and trustworthy. Together, they make our teaching effective and credible. Right?
Yeah.
Wow, thank you. Well said. Ready?
It's also about leadership. When we speak clearly and confidently, we set the tone in the classroom. Students look up to teachers who can think critically and communicate well. It builds trust and respect.
Yeah. Trust is the foundation of learning.
Oh, okay.
Arlene.
Yes, Arlene.
For me, confidence is speaking help us connect with students emotionally and intellectually. It's not just about delivering lessons, it's about making students feel heard and understood, which encourage them to engage and think critically themselves.
Yeah, that connection truly makes a difference in education. Thank you so much, Christine, Regeline, and Ernie. But before we say goodbye, what final advice would you give to future teachers struggling with speaking confidence? Let's start with you, Ernie.
My advice to you, start small and be kind to yourself, then wait for perfection. Every time you speak, you improve.
Yeah, that's so important. Progress over perfection. Next, Christine.
Fear is normal, but don't let it silence you. Your voice is powerful and needed.
Absolutely. Reg?
Keep practicing, reflecting, and learning. Confidence grows with effort and time.
Thank you all for those inspiring words. Thank you, everyone. To everyone watching, remember, public speaking is a skill you build by thinking critically, verifying your information, and practicing consistently. It's okay to be nervous. That means you care. Use that energy to feel really good. Thank you for joining us on Teach and Talk. Keep speaking up, keep teaching with heart, and keep believing in your power to inspire. Until next time, I'm Leia. Stay confident and keep growing. Thank you all for watching. Goodbye.